The FIFA World Cup in Qatar is a little over 2 years away. I sat down with the chairman of the tournament, Hassan Al Thawadi, to talk about the importance of the event, both for his country and the region. Hassan Al Thawadi, thank you so much for joining us. How are the preparations coming along?
Thank you for having me. Preparations are coming along according to schedule. By the first half of this year, we will have 5 stadiums completed. By the end of this year, we will have the 6th stadium coming into the pipeline. And by the end of 2021, we will have all 8 stadiums operationally ready. In terms of infrastructure, the metro system is up and ready. It was actually up and ready a year in advance. So last year, when we hosted the Club World Cup, we utilized the metro and transportation system. The expressways are coming online as well. And I think overall, the country is ready in terms of infrastructure. And we're moving on to the operational phase. So we hosted the Club World Cup last year, testing some of the plans that we had in place, seeing what works and what doesn't work. At the end of this year, we'll be hosting another Club World Cup, the last of its kind in terms of the edition. And in 2021, we'll be hosting another tournament as well. So we've got a number of milestones to test our operational preparedness and ready to welcome the world in 2022.
This, of course, will be the first time that a Football World Cup will be held in the Middle East and a Muslim country. What kind of message, what kind of symbolism would you like to project with the tournament?
I think it's more than symbolism. I think what this tournament has the opportunity to do is to bridge cultural gaps. It's to break down stereotypes. The world perceives the Muslim world in a certain way, and the Muslim world perceives the outside world in a certain way as well. And I think what sports has the potential to do, and what the World Cup in particular has the potential to do, is bring people together of different backgrounds, with different values, but share and celebrate in our common humanity. And that's what we're doing. We're utilizing this tournament in such a way to break down stereotypes, to bridge the cultural gap, and showcase the Muslim world, showcase the Arab, the Middle East, in a different light. We're hospitable. We have a great sense of humor. We have great culture and history to showcase the world. And at the same time, also for us to see and view our fellow global citizens as well as being just as the same as us, people who are passionate about sports, and we can actually celebrate, as I said, our common passion for sports, and hopefully be a spark of unification and an antidote in an age where, unfortunately, populism or ideology or rhetoric of separationism is rampant.
As you said, football has the potential to unify people all across the globe. Do you think the tournament even has the potential to soothe the geopolitical tensions in the region?
I think it's important to note first, Qatar as its policy and its vision has always been committed to resolving conflict through dialogue and utilizing any opportunity and any platform to resolving conflict through dialogue and easing tensions. The World Cup and sports generally is, I believe, a very powerful vehicle, and we try to use it not in terms of with the aim of separating politics and sports and using the sporting platform to bringing the people together on a human-to-human level, on a person-to-person, on an individual basis, creating that bond, creating that interaction. It's a very powerful vehicle, and we are trying to utilize it in that way in terms of separating ideologies, separating political positioning in that manner. And a perfect example was we hosted the Gulf Cup in 2019. The blockading nations joined, Saudi, Emirates, Bahrain. Fans from the blockading nations did travel to Qatar, and you could see just as I said, on a micro level, you could see that sports transcends differences and can work towards that, and that's what we aim to do. We aim to use this tournament to bring people together.
There are, of course, people who criticize the decision to hold the World Cup in Qatar, saying, one, Qatar is too small, B, it's not really a football nation, and C, the climate is not very conducive to hold a tournament in the summer. Therefore, it has been shifted now to December 2022. How do you respond to those critics?
I think every nation has the right to host major tournaments. Every nation has the right to aspire and to have an ambition, a legitimate ambition, an aspiration to host these major tournaments, I think, regardless of any criticism that might come back. I think for us, we've always looked at everything that was considered a disadvantage, and we actually made it into a positive stepping stone and an advantage. So, for example, when people criticized us for the size of our nation, we actually introduced the concept of a compact World Cup. A compact World Cup where fans don't have to travel and find accommodation in different places, where players can focus on football as opposed to focus on traveling from one place to another and changing accommodation, and they can deliver on where it matters, where the carbon footprint is reduced significantly. Most other nations, big nations, means you have to travel from one place to another and take different modes of transportation. In Qatar, you have sustainable modes of transportation that limits the carbon footprint that the tournament would leave. Of course, when we look at it in terms of football history, that's where I think it's important that what is not, or let's say, nations that are not known to the football world need to host these tournaments, because Qatar is a football, we have a very rich football history. Football started in Qatar in the 1950s. Before we even, moved away from the British protectorate, we actually were football supporters. We are today the Asian champions. We have won the Asian Championship, breaking all records. So the fact is, we are a football nation, and the fact is, hosting the World Cup has helped accelerate us onto the global stage. So I think hosting hosting the World Cup has left a legacy already, a sporting legacy already as we speak. Of course, I think, again, our approach to hosting this tournament goes beyond the normal. We're not looking at this tournament as a 28-day tournament, and then people come and go, and then that's it. 10 years ago, we made a decision that this will be a vehicle, a transformative vehicle that will leave legacy for Qatar and the people of the region, where we will try to leave genuine economic legacy through supporting entrepreneurs and enabling entrepreneurs of the region, where we try to develop the sporting industry through hosting this big tournament, where we try to leave an environmentally sustainable legacy through supporting environmental sustainable initiatives, building solar farms, but also, more importantly, showcasing a new model of a sustainable tournament, reducing the size of our stadiums because we don't need these big size stadiums, donating the seats to football developing nations and contributing to football development. And so I think I'm very confident that at the end of 2022, the world will see a new benchmark in terms of how to host a sustainable tournament that continues delivering on its benefits beyond 2022.
Hassan Al Thawadi, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.